Ngiyanibingelela bazalwane egameni lenkosi yethu uJesu Kristu waseNazaretha. Kuyintokozo kakhulu ukuthi siphinde sihlangane sizovuselelana ngezindaba ezinhle zombuso kaNkulunkulu. Sihlola sibuka la uNkulunkulu afisa ukuthi sisizane khona. Ingxenye ethile uNkulunkulu afisa ukuthi zilungiswe empilweni zethu. Ngiyajabula kakhulu bazalwane ukuthi ngethule lesi sifundo engizosethula njengamanje, noma singezungena kuma details, kodwa nje mhlambe mawulalela kahle khona into ozophuma nayo emva usulalelile. Kungenye enye yengxenye ukulungiselela uhlwitho. Ngifisa sibuke into yokuthi uNkulunkulu nje manje uyakhuluma. Into ayikhuluma uNkulunkulu is-serious and ijulile kakhulu. Mhlambe abaningi mabezwa lemiyalezo lama-presentations engilokhu ngiwathula bazowathatha serious, abezokathatha serious, bazothatha light, kanti into ejulile kuyabiza ukuthi ube kumoya, ukuba kumoya, ukuba sezwini likaNkulunkulu, ukukholwa, ulishisekela, uyifuna intando kaNkulunkulu. So njengamanje uNkulunkulu senzela leyo musa bazalwane, uyakhuluma. God is speaking. Liyezwakala ivoice yakhe. Ngifisa sibuke kafushane njengamanje what is the voice of God. Abaningi njengoba uNkulunkulu ekhuluma athi umuntu noma esezwile, ngisho singahlala phansi abuze imibuzo, sivule izwi kaNkulunkulu, then mhlambe aneliseke umuntu ngendlela osekuchazwa ngayo, sivule iBhayibheli, sindawonye sixoxa kahle nje ngomoya kahle, umoya okholwa, umoya phansi. Kodwa kudlule lapho umuntu mhlambe omunye athi ngifisa ukuthi uNkulunkulu nama confirm kimi, kufanele ngilizwe iphimbo likaNkulunkulu liconfirma kimi, ngilizwe ivoice kangisafuna ukuzwa ivoice kaNkulunkulu. God is speaking. Angifisa ungena into eningi njengamanje ukuthi uNkulunkulu ukhulumile nge-audible voice. Kwakwenze njani? I-audible voice i-voice njengoba ungizwa ungilalele ngikhuluma. That's audible voice. uJesu kwi-New Testament esikhathini sikaJesu iyezwakala i-audible voice. Uma sesihleli phansi sifunda lezi zinto, ngiyasichaza, silivulizwe, sisizane, sifike lapho seneliseka khona. Njengamanje ngifisa ukuthula this short presentation on the subject, what is the voice of God? Iyini voice? Ngoba uthola ukuthi uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma, esekhulumile uNkulunkulu eseqedile, athi umuntu ngifisa ukuzwa futhi, ngifuna ukuzwa ivoice kaNkulunkulu. uNkulunkulu usekhulumile, sekubiza ukuthi umuntu enze, athi umuntu usafuna uqala phansi elokhuzana ezwe ivoice. So baningi abantu uNkulunkulu athi mayikhuluma nabo engxenyeni ethile zokukholwa, uNkulunkulu efuna ukubasiza ngento ethile. Mhlawumbe abanye bathatha izinqumo ethile, abanye abantu abangaziqondi. Then mhlambe labo bantu abangaqondi bese bebuza umbuzo ukuthi wayizwa kahle ivoice kaNkulunkulu, walizwa iphimbo likaNkulunkulu ukukhuluma. So abantu abaningi ngazathi kunenye definition abanayo ngendaba yevoice. So ngifisa sibuke lokho njengamanje, the voice of God. Iyini ivoice kaNkulunkulu? Ngokwe definition umbuzo uthi what is the voice? Anyway, what is the voice? Yini voice? Ake siqale lapho nje sichaze igama ukuthi what is voice. Ngokwe English dictionary, mhlambe ma ukuthi nayo English dictionary efonini yakho, noma mhlambe una dictionary ethe ukuthi exaxa ngokwezinga ekhaya, mhlambe le eincwadi, ungabheka igama elithi voice. Voice, iphimbo. It is the sound of uttered words. Umsindo ohamba namagama aphinyiselwayo. That's a voice. Njengoba ngikhuluma nje uyayizwa ivoice yami, into izwa nje manje ngene endlebeni zakho, it's umsindo uhamba ngani ngevoice. That's a voice. So uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma kanjalo, but akusiyona kuphela leyo ndlela uNkulunkulu akhuluma ngayo. So ziningi indlela uNkulunkulu akhuluma ngazo. Njengamanje ensukwini zokugcina uNkulunkulu ukhulume ngendodana yakhe nguJesu Kristu. So uma kushunyelwa uJesu, uNkulunkulu usuke ekhuluma. Uma kufundiswa ngoJesu, uNkulunkulu usuke ekhuluma. Uma kufundiswa ngezwi likaNkulunkulu, uNkulunkulu usuke ekhuluma. So there are so many ways uNkulunkulu akhuluma ngazo. So akusekhona kuphela ukuthi ufuna ukuzwe audible voice uhleli wedwa endlini uzwe iphimbo likhuluma sibanibani sibiya bese uyahamba uphuma uyaqalaza awuboni umuntu kusho ukuthi uNkulunkulu okhulumayo is one of the ways. But engingakusho uNkulunkulu usuke ne-challenge yokukhuluma laloyo muntu ngalendlela uNkulunkulu asuke efuna ukukhuluma ngayo ngomoya ongcwele. So i-audible voice it means there is a difficult communication between God and that person. So abantu abaningi bajatshelisa ukuthi bezwe i-voice, audible voice, but i-sign leyo ukuthi ayikho i-communication kahle phakathi komzalwane. So kufana nomuntu uthi uma umbiza ukhuluma naye ukhuluma kahle naye angezwa angathatha istep, then kuze kufike lapho uqinisa khona iphimbo noma umemeze sibanibani angathi uyathethe yabona mhlawumbe ingane ukhuluma nayo sibanibani awungenzeli ukuthi inganaki iyozenza ngoba isithi usuthi sibanibani enza ukuthi bese iyaqala-ke. So i-audible voice most of the time, not always, most of the time uma ngabe izwakala i-audible voice kaNkulunkulu then kusuke kune-difficult kunobunzima ukuthi uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma ngendlela akhuluma ngazo nomuntu, then ukuxhumana phakathi kwakhe noNkulunkulu lo muntu kusuke kunzima, kusuke kunezinto eziphakathi komuntu ezimenza ukuthi aminyane angakwazi ukuflow uNkulunkulu ekhulume naye. So kubiza ukuthi uNkulunkulu asebenzise i-audible voice, but i-audible voice kubantu abaxhumene kahle noNkulunkulu is not for them. Even esikhathi uJesu esikhathi eqeda ukubhajadiswa nje, esikhathi evuka kwezwakala iphimbo livela ezulwini lithi lo indodana yami, it was not for Jesus, it was for these people ababe noJesu. So maningi ama-scripture akhothwa bengenza bengidlula nje bazalwane. So what is a voice anyway? It is the sound of uttered words. Then second point, voice is a mean by which something is communicated. E.g. the voice of the law. So if voice uma kushawa umthetho, that's a voice. Umthetho, the law, is the voice. So yona ndlela le okuxhunywa ngayo nabantu, yabona, okuxhunywa ngayo nabantu ukuthi kukhulunywa through umthetho. So umthetho uthi, so angikwazi ukwenza into ethile ngoba umthetho uthi, i-voice leyo. So ngikuthathe ukubeka emthethweni kaNkulunkulu ukuthi uNkulunkulu angikwazi ukwenza ukuthi, yabona, angikwazi ukubulala umuntu, angikwazi ukutshontsha, angikwazi ukuqamba amanga, angikwazi ukuphinga, angikwazi ukujola, yabona, angikwazi ukukhothama ethixweni ngikhonze ithixo. Why? Because uNkulunkulu ukhulumile. There is a voice of God through the law of God which says do not do this, it is abominable to God, so in the eyes of God. So that's a voice. Voice is a sound uttered by mouth, especially that uttered by human beings in speech. Njengoba sengichazile, njengoba ngizwa ngikhuluma nawe uyakhuluma, then if iphuma ivoice isobala leyo meaning leyo. So voice is a language, words, speech, commands, precepts, now chiefly used in scriptural language. English dictionary nje lechaza le khozana la lezi incazelo lezi. Voice is a language, yabona. So not a language ukuthi njengoba ngikhuluma isiZulu, Zulu language or English language, you can say it's a voice, kodwa ke i-language okukhulunywa ngayo kusuke kukhulunywa nje ukuthi abantu abasindisiwe kune language yabo abayikhulumayo. Yini language abayikhulumayo? uJesu wasifela esiphambanweni, esikhundleni sethu kwakufuneka ufe thina inxozono zethu, but uJesu wasifela ngoba uNkulunkulu esithandile. So uJesu wathwala izono zethu ukuze ngaye uJesu masikholwa simamukela benkosi nomsindisi, then siyathethela izono zethu sizalwa kabusha, sibuyisane noNkulunkulu, sesinokuphila okuphakade ngenxa kaKristu Jesu. Yini leyo? It's a language, it's a voice. Then i-language yabantwana bakaNkulunkulu, i-language yabantwana bakaNkulunkulu ishiwo ngama-languages, ukuthi isiZulu, isiXhosa, kodwa i-language is the same. That's a voice. God has spoken. So voice is a word. So umkhulumizwi, that's a voice. Speech, uma umuntu ethula ispeech, ethula inkulumo, is a voice. Imithetho, commands, imiyalo, then is a voice. Precepts, so iBhayibheli lisebenzisa kakhulukazi lamagama lawo. Voice is the one who speaks or a speaker. Mhlambe 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 15, Isambulo 21 verse 5, Isambulo 19 verse 9. Mhlambe mawungafunda lapho ucheck lento esikhuluma mhlambe ngeke uyithole yini. Right, mhlambe ake sibuke mhlambe ke okulandelayo, take note of Revelation chapter 21 verse 5. Lapha mawufunda ngesingisi eBhayibheli, nangesizulu futhi uzokubona ukubukisisa kahle. Isambulo 21 verse 5. I-Theya definition, kune dictionary kuthiwa i-Theya eyisichaze mazwi, ukuthi aqala kanjani asukaphi. So uma ufunda Isambulo 21 verse 5 kunamagama athi these words iwona futhi achaza kahle ukuthi what is the voice, liyini iphimbo. So ke njoba nje ngilongithula le message ngokwegaba ezahlukene, ngokwama presentation sengiwathulile, uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma. If le message ifinyelele endlebeni zakho, uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma. That's a voice of God. That's a voice of God. So ke ngiyacela ngokuyithoba singabi bikho isikhathi esizomoshakala uthi usalindele ivoice ethile ezokwehla ezulwini mhlambe endlela ethile ozoyizwa mhlambe abanye bengayizwa. So until uJesu abuye uthothi usuyasala uyenzile intando kaNkulunkulu ubusathi usalindile ivoice ethile. So abantu abaningi baxabene noNkulunkulu, bashayisana endleleni, bangezwana ngenxa ukuthi kuba ukuthi nje uyizwile nivoice kaNkulunkulu. So kubekile ke enhliziyo nami ukuthi ke sikhulume ngale nto bazana ngendlela ejulileyo. First point, voice is a speech. Ngichaza njalo uRevelation Isambulo 21 verse 5 igama elithi these words. Voice is a speech, a word uttered by a living person. Voice is what someone has said. So these are the words, Isambulo 21 verse 5. These are the words, amazwi kaNkulunkulu. So ke esikhundleni sokuthi amazwi kaNkulunkulu, this is a speech. This is a word God has spoken. This is a voice of God. Voice is what someone has said. Voice is what God has said. If you study the word of God, if you study the Bible, the Holy Bible, then lokho sukuzwe sikhathi ufunda kushiya ukuthi ubusisiwe oluzwayo izwi kaNkulunkulu bese yalenza kubhaliwe lokho. Then uNkulunkulu usuke ekhuluma lokho. That's a voice of God, a word and a saying of God. Iphimbo yizwi noma yizwi noma ukusho kaNkulunkulu. Then decree, mandate or order. Moral precepts given by God. Old Testament prophecy given by the prophets. Is a prophet as a testament elidala kwakuyivoice kaNkulunkulu. So umprofeti kaNkulunkulu kwi-Old Testament mayesekhulumile ukhuluma on behalf of uNkulunkulu, that's a voice. So abantu sefuneka baresponde, balalele benze lokho uNkulunkulu akushoyo. Then uma bengakwenzi lokho kuzoba ne-punishment. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 1 to 4, no John chapter 8 verse 43. Khona ngizomkhotha la omunye ubaba waphesheya eAmerica, wayeke wathi ngelinye ilanga, Dr. David Jeremiah once said, ngiyakhotha nje bazalwane, ngicaphuna lokho akushilo. Voice of God is heard in his word. Iphimbo likaNkulunkulu lizwakala ezwini lakhe. Liphi lona izwi lakhe lele lilotshiwe, the logos. So that's a voice. So ke njengoba sikhuluma nje abazalwane, God is speaking. Mhlambe wena abanganalo ithuba lokuthi ube nesikhathi noNkulunkulu ngomthandazo nangezwi kaNkulunkulu, zonke indlela uNkulunkulu ayisebenzisayo ukuze uNkulunkulu ambule lezi zinto. So ke ngomusa kaNkulunkulu ngikwazile ukuba nalelo thuba lokuhlala noNkulunkulu iminyaka. Le message njengoba ngikhuluma nje, uNkulunkulu belokho kudala ikhuluma more than 20 years. So uNkulunkulu lokho eyambula ke ngokwegaba ngoba intshisekelo yami kwakuthi Nkosi, ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi njengoba sengisindisiwe njena uyini umbuso wakho, ngingubani, ngisukaphi, ngibhekephi, because kunezinto engishiyile isikhathi ngingakasindiswa bengikholwa kuzona ngiphila ngazo. So manje sengisindisiwe, ngifuna ukuyazi into engikhulumayo, ngifuna ukuyiqonda into engikhulumayo. So makuthiwa kufanele ngikhulume phambi kwabantu ngishumayela uJesu, ngifaze ngoJesu, yini le ngikhuluma ngayo. So uNkulunkulu wazambula lezi zinto, uzambule ngendlela eziningi, nangengceke ethile ezahlukene abazalwane, iningi indlela uNkulunkulu akhuluma ngazo. Then uNkulunkulu lokho akubeka enhlizweni yami kuye ngokuya khula confirmeka. So sekuze kwafika lezi ukuthi uNkulunkulu ke manje angidlulisa umyalezo ukuthi ibandla likaKristu aliyilungiselele, ziningi izinto ezonakele ebandleni bazalwane. So njengamanje impilo yakho lena zinikezelela ithuba, uNkulunkulu ufuna ukusiza impilo yakho njengamanje, isikhathi sesisincane kakhulu esisele. So uNkulunkulu kwenzela umusa ukuthi uzwe le message ifinyelele endlebeni zakho. uNkulunkulu kwenzela umusa. So uma uyizwe le message ngicela uyithathe uyidlulisele kwabanye. So God is speaking. uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma njengamanje. Njengoba uzwe ivoice yami njena, behind ivoice yami in the spirit realm there is a voice of God. So kune voice, kunephimbo likaNkulunkulu elikhuluma through iphimbo lami. So uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma njengamanje. Ngiyacela egameni lenkosi yethu Jesu. And uNkulunkulu uyayikhethela ukuthi ukhuluma ngobani. So akufanele ukubuka ubuso bomuntu mhlambe ubani udume ngani bese uyameya. So lalela lokho kusho njengamanje in your spirit, uhlale phansi uthathe izwi kaNkulunkulu uthandaze, then uzwe ukuthi ayikho into mhlambe ezokhuluma kuwena ukuthi uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma njengamanje and kufanele simlalele senze lokho uNkulunkulu akushoyo. So izenzo chapter 22 verse 14 ngifunda kwi-BBE version, isihumusho esithile leso seBhayibheli. Verse 14 uthi ke, and he said, you have been marked out by the God of our fathers to have knowledge of his purpose and to see the upright one and to give ear to the words of his mouth. To the words of his mouth. Then again in brackets, to the words, in brackets, to the voice. Uma usegama elithi words of his mouth, then esikhundleni sokuthi words uthi in the to hear his, to hear, to give ear to the voice of his mouth. The voice, the words, the voice of his mouth. So amazwi njengoba iBhayibheli nje libhaliwe, amazwi kabani lawo kaNkulunkulu. That's a definition of the PPE version. Then in NET version, then same verse, chapter 22 Izenzo, verse 14. Then he said, the God of our ancestors has already chosen you to know his will, to see the righteous one, and to hear a command from his mouth. Yes, what? To hear a command, to hear a voice from his mouth. Njengoba sichaza ngalena kwilokhuzana kwi-English dictionary ukuthi voice is a language, voice is a words, voice is a speech, voice is a command, voice is a precept, now chiefly used in scriptural language. So uyeza kama-version ahlukene afaza lento ade ngisho laphana ngaphezulu. How does God speaks? How to hear the voice of God? Ukhuluma kanjani uNkulunkulu? Uyizwa kanjani ivoice yakhe? God speaks through his word. Lithi iBhayibheli uJesu ngulizwi. Ekuqaleni wayekhona, umfunda uJohn chapter 1 from verse 1. Ekuqaleni wayekhona ubani ulizwi. Ubani ulizwi? Jesus Christ is the word of God. So God speaks through his word, which is Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ is the word and the wisdom of God. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 1 to 3. It is 100% sure and accurate. Beside other means of communication like visions, dreams, audible voices, angelic visits, circumstances, etc., uNkulunkulu ukhuluma ngezwi lakhe elinguJesu Kristu. uJesu Kristu ufikile emhlabeni umuntu 100% efika enyameni. So uJesu ephethe amazwi kaNkulunkulu. uJesu akwenzayo ekuthatha ekubukela uNkulunkulu, siyakufunda konke lokho kusezwini kaNkulunkulu in the New Testament, kuprofethiwe ngoJesu in the Old Testament. So uNkulunkulu ukhuluma ngoJesu. Uma kunemessage eshumayela ngoJesu, uma kunemessage efundisa ngoJesu, njengoba ngimemezela ukuthi uJesu uyabuya, uthi asihlambulule silibandla singabantwana baNkulunkulu, sizingcwelise. Ama presentation ke ngikuthulile lokho ukuthi yiziphi izinto akhala ngazo uNkulunkulu njenge-world system. uNkulunkulu uyakhuluma nje manje ukuthi i-world system. Ngicabanga ukuthi uJakobe chapter 4, ningixolela mangakhothanga kahle, ngicabanga ukuthi verse 4. But friendship with the world is hatred towards God. So ubudlelwano, ubungane nezwe kuwubutha kuNkulunkulu. So izwe bazalwane akufanele mase sisindisiwe asisebona bezwe. So ke ekusindisweni kwethu satshelwa ngendaba zokukhonza abantu abasebefile noma ukulandela bona umkholelwa kubona amadlozi. Satshelwa ngemjolo nangemkipito ukuthi kuyisono, satshelwa ngeinyanga lezi zesintu, sangatshelwa ngalezi zesilungu, satshelwa ngezinto ngekuzana ngokuthakatha, satshelwa ngokuntshontsha, ngokweba, mhlambe ngokujola, ngokuphinga, ngokuhlobonga, ngokufeba nani kwathiwa izona. But kwasekuthiwa yizwe ke lelo, yes, is part of izinto zani zezwe, but asitshelwanga ngama-world system noma nge-world system noma ngama-world systems. So asitshelwanga ngalokho bazalwane, sagijima kakhulu ngespeed ngesivinini esikhulu ey'ntweni zalelizwe ezibukeka zizinhle, sagcwala sangena kuzona, kanti iroot, impande, umnyombo walezi zinto aziveli kuNkulunkulu, zibonakala zivela kuNkulunkulu. Zalingcolisa-ke ibandla bazalwane. So uNkulunkulu uyadalula lezi zinto ey'nsukwini zokugcina. In your spirit, I'm sure uma uwumntwana kaNkulunkulu uhlala kumoya, umlalela umoya oyingcwele, uyoyizwa lento emoyeni wakho uthi iqinise njengoba injalo. Injengoba nje injalo. Thatha iBhayibheli, lithi iBhayibheli lokhuzana amaRoma chapter 10 verse 17, ukukholwa kuzwa ngani? Ngokuzwa. Ukuzwa ini? Izwi likaNkulunkulu. So khona izinto ongeke uze uyikholwe uma ungena umuntu ochitha isikhathi noNkulunkulu. So khona izinto ezijulile uzoyithola ngomoya kaNkulunkulu, zambulwa umoya kaNkulunkulu ongcwele, ngenxa yokuthi uhlala neBhayibheli, uyalifunda. Awulifundi njengenovel, awulifundi ngoba ufuna ukuyoshaya izinto ezithile kubantu ulwe ngalo nani, ulifunda ngoba ufuna intando kaNkulunkulu, uyibona wena uyisoni, ufuna uNkulunkulu akusize, ufuna ukwazi ukuqonda izinto ezithile, unxusa ukuthi ufuna uNkulunkulu esenokufunyanwa njengezwi likaNkulunkulu elikhuluma kwi-Old Testament. So-ke